I've been investing in real estate since 2018. Buy, fix and flip, BRRRRs, sub twos, novations. I was doing everything myself. I'm wearing all the hats. I don't have any systems. I'm a one-man band. And I think that's where I was really stuck. Really, really stuck. The setup of how the CRM is, that's definitely the engine. Definitely the engine. Everything's in the CRM.
Yeah.
Like the follow-up stages and campaigns, everything is exactly what I needed. Bandit sign was put up on Monday morning. I had them reach out, I want to say on Wednesday. I have my loan at 211 and we sold for 262.
So how much of that $32,000 down payment was actual true net profit?
22,000. So really have to look in the mirror and say, can I expect change and get better based on what I'm doing today? Stop wearing all the hats.
Everyone, welcome to another REI Automated client highlight. Today, we've got, sometimes he goes by Gilbert, sometimes he goes by Gilberto, depending on where you're coming from. But thank you very much, brother, for coming on to the show and talking about a recent deal. Brother, before we get into it, I want to be really honest with everybody. Before we jump into the details and the nitty gritty and everything like this, my attorney told me I have to start every single one of these podcasts the same way. I want to say me and Gilbert, we had a conversation, a come to Jesus moment about 2 months ago, and he took massive action. He put in the work. He showed up in his business. He was coachable. Believe it or not, he actually listened to what I told him to do. He applied it, and he got a really good result. And that's why I brought him on to the show today. But here's the thing. Real estate investing is hard. Entrepreneurship is hard. The market right now is hard, and it takes effort and it takes consistency. And honestly, some people are going to come in and they're going to learn everything that we teach and do exactly what we tell them to do, and they're still not going to see the same result. And that's just the reality of it. I'm going to be very honest and very transparent with this, that markets are different, and Gilbert's deal is going to be different than your deal, and his financial situation and his experience level and his local market conditions. All of that's going to play into as a factor of what your outcome is going to look like. And so for full transparency, when Gilbert shares, his numbers today, I don't want you hearing that and thinking, oh, that's going to happen for me, because it might not. It might be more, it might be less, it might take you longer to get there, it might be shorter. But what I can tell you is that with the right education and the right systems, you can do this. But your results are going to be different and individual to you and the effort that you put in. All right. Financial and legal disclosure done. With that said, Gilbert, welcome to the show, brother. I'm excited to chat with you.
Appreciate you for having me, brother.
Yes, man. You've had some really big changes in your business. I want to highlight just the one particular deal, and then we'll get into kind of a high level of some of the new exciting things that have happened just in the last couple of months. Dude, your story, it inspires me so freaking much, and it's going to inspire our listeners as well. If you guys are tuning in or watching on YouTube, whether you're already in our program or you're outside and you're looking in, thinking about joining, this is going to be an amazing show. Gilbert, I want to start from the beginning. A lot of people, they join REI Automated, and everyone does it for different reasons, right? Some people, they feel stuck. Maybe they're not closing enough deals. Maybe they haven't closed any deals and they feel like they're just spinning their wheels. And you signed up a couple months ago. I want you to kind of walk us through where you were in your business, how far you were in your journey, a little bit about what you've done before then, and then talk about that time in specific, like what was holding you back at that moment.
So 6 weeks ago, I've been investing in real estate since 2018. Buy, fix and flip, BRRRRs, sub twos, little bit of everything, novations. And I think where I was 6 weeks ago was that I was doing everything myself. I'm wearing all the hats. I don't have any systems. I'm a one-man band and doing everything myself. With that being said, a lot of things were falling through the cracks. I, missed this opportunity because I didn't answer my phone. I didn't, follow up. I didn't, I was losing a lot of opportunities. That's for sure one of the things. And then the other part is that, like, with missed opportunities, you're missing income, right? You're missing chances of trying to go as a business owner to where you would like to go. And I think that's where I was really stuck, really, really stuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was always my main holdup. Yeah.
Has that been the case for your entire tenure over the last 8 years? Has it always just been you?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Wow.
I did try to, I would try to bring on like VAs. I would try to, like partner with other people, but it doesn't matter who you bring on or whatever, but if you don't have the right system and the right engine, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
that's right. That's right. When you originally reached out to me, because you didn't sign up 6 weeks ago, that was just our phone call 6 or 8 weeks ago. Do you know how many months ago you signed up? Like 3 months ago, 2 months ago?
I want to say it's been about 3 months. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say it's about 3 months.
I want to talk about that decision about 3 months ago when you jumped on board. Because frankly, I wasn't, like we were friends before you became a client. And so I was acquainted with you. I see you as honestly as a peer, right? I started 10 years ago. You started 8 years ago. You're very knowledgeable. If you guys picked up on some of these things that he's done, taking properties subject to, that's not like a beginner thing. Doing novations, that's not a beginner thing. Gilbert really knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing. He's a good investor. So 3 months ago ish, when you reached out to me, I wasn't expecting that phone call. If you remember, I think I was actually on a walk. I was on like one of my morning walks, and I was just going, oh yeah, let's chat with a friend here. I've got an hour. Let's go ahead and shoot the breeze. What pushed you to reach out to me and gear the conversation towards REI Automated?
I think it was the consistency that I saw, and I think you had a coaching call or an event on Sunday or Saturday. Can't remember what day it was, but you had an online event, and I went on there, and I remember you going through like, okay, we were about to launch REI Automated, the new platform that you guys have.
Yes.
And I think that intrigued me so much that I was like, you know what, man, like I need a, I want to take a look, I want to take a look. Let me try to see how I can integrate this with myself and in my business. And yeah, I think the consistency is what stood out for me the most. I was like, okay, I can be consistent on this, So
you remaining consistent in the program. What was it about the program that convinced you you would be able to be consistent with it?
I think the setup of how the CRM is, that's definitely the engine. Definitely the engine. I've tried Go High Level. I've tried these other platforms, and for some reason, it just didn't click for me. For some reason, I think a lot of what I like is like the hierarchy. For example, when you're in there, I know exactly where I need to call. I know exactly, everything's in the CRM.
Yeah,
like the follow up stages and campaigns. Everything is exactly what I needed. So
cool. Did you have any fears or hesitations before? Because making the commitment to REI Automated is no small feat, right? It's a large monthly cost every single month. So most people, they're a little bit, I try to be like halfway PC on these, but their butt kind of puckers a little bit when they hear the cost, right? There's a little bit of a sticker shock.
Yeah.
So did you have any fears or hesitations about that? And if so, what convinced you to move forward anyway?
I don't think I had any fears. I think I've always seen it as an investment. The biggest investment out of it is that like the group, right? Like I'm in the group, I'm in the atmosphere. I can talk to Nate, I can talk to yourself. I have other investors, Brian Hammond and, Rochelle and all of them. Like I talk to them often.
Good.
And just having access to them and just, hey, I need help with this, or, I've dispo deals with these guys, so I've done well with them. So
good. I think just answered one of my questions that I always like to ask on these podcast episodes. But one of the things that I like to go into is just a quick breakdown of REI Automated, because there's actually 3 different pillars of REI Automated. Pillar number 1 is education, where we have all the courses that you went through, right, on deal structure and marketing and deal analysis and raising private money and hiring and training team members and mindset and goals and KPIs and automations and all blah, 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 blah. All these things you need to be good at in your business. So we have all those courses. That's under our education pillar. Then we have our systems pillar. And REI Automated is a software company, for those of you who don't know that are listening, where we have our own lead generation, we have our own CRM. So we have a whole bunch of verticals under this deal operating system. We've got Deal Academy, Deal Labs, Deal Stream, deal feed, deal base, deal bots, deal GPT. So we have all these different software verticals because I teach you what to do in the education pillar. But then I'm giving you the tool and the resource that you need. Here's how to execute what I've just taught you. So that's what our software does. That's under our systems pillar. And then you go out and you do it, and you have the education, you have the resource, you go out and you do it, and inevitably, there's a question that somebody asks you don't know the answer to. There's an objection that you don't know how to overcome. There's dirty title that you don't know how to fix. A contractor's going to try to screw you out of money, whatever. And you're going to need some help from somebody who's done that before. And so we have this support element where you get access to me, you get access to a client success manager, a developer, an executive assistant, a community leader, somebody to do JV partners with lenders that are in the group, so on and so forth. And so we have this support system, this community aspect as well. All right, so that's the 101. Education is pillar number 1, systems pillar number 2, support is pillar number 3. Gilbert, when you decided to sign up for REI Automated, which pillar intrigued you the most, where you were like, I really want that? And then fast forward 3 months to present day.
Yeah.
Is that still the most important pillar, or has one of the other pillars taken over as this is the reason that I stay?
I think I went for the second pillar, the system.
Mm-hmm.
But then in it, I for sure have pivoted to like the third pillar. The community aspect has definitely been how do you say it? A game changer for me. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Once you got into the system, you're plugged in CRM, you're learning the CRM and everything. How quickly did you start to see a difference in your day-to-day workflow? Like how many weeks in?
I want to say once I started PPL, once I got into like turning on the PPL leads and everything and having some inbound leads come in, that's when things really changed for me. And
so that was around like 1 month, right?
Yeah. And the reason I didn't get to doing the PPL just yet was because the deal we're about to talk about right now.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. Sweet. Let's transition straight into the deal then, since we're bringing it up. So let's start at the very beginning. I'm going to write some numbers down. You said this is a PPL deal, right? That was your lead source?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, the actual deal itself was a property already owned.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. It was already a deal I owned, but getting that closed and to the finish line was what helped me pivot into like, okay, let's put in some marketing. Out of
curiosity though, so you already owned it, but how did you find it originally?
Purchased it. I think I purchased it in 2021 or so.
Okay.
It was just an on-market deal. Yeah.
On-market deal at the time. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So already owned on market. And what was let's just go through all of the key numbers. So what was the ARV?
Yeah. So the ARV on it was, I would put it around 350.
Okay. Did you have a mortgage on it?
Mortgage when I bought it. Actually, I bought it for cash. 175.
175. And did you put any repairs in it?
I put repairs. So it was 2 deals in one. 2 properties on 1 parcel.
Oh, good.
And what
Sweet.
I did
I love those ones.
I subdivided them.
Okay.
Flipped the back one. And then this one. And this one was the one that we just finished out.
Good. Okay. Did you do any repairs at all to the front one?
No.
Okay. 0 repair. So you're in it for 175 basically plus holding costs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No arrears because you were owning it. What was the, I was going to ask the seller's walk away, but it was 175 because that's what you originally picked it up for. Cool.
Yeah.
What was go ahead.
175 that came with the 2 houses. I sold the back house. I put about 25,000 into the back house and I sold it for 180. So I essentially got all my money back.
Yeah.
From that.
And deal 1.
Yeah.
Cool. And then this one, from the time that you owned it to present day, what were you doing with it?
It was a rental. It was a rental up to about maybe February this time. Yeah, about February or so.
And then in February, renters moved out?
Renters moved out, yeah.
Okay. And talk about the funding for this deal. You said it was 175 cash, but you didn't sink your cash into it and then turn it into a rental, right? Like this was a lender's money.
No, I raised private money for it.
Okay, cool. So you raised private money. That's how you funded the deal. And then what was the biggest challenge with this deal?
With this deal, the biggest challenge was trying to get a new renter in there.
Yeah. And what did you do to find a new renter? Because you had a renter for years, and then all of a sudden it was like dunzo, dead, right?
So what happened was that the renter apparently was renting out the rooms to other people, and when we got in there, it was just terrible condition. It was left in terrible condition. So it was either, invest a little bit of money and get it to where it needs to be, or try to rent it out like that, or try to find a buyer. So that's where essentially I had that call with you, and I was like, man, I'm bleeding every month. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to get out of this situation. So yeah.
So at this point, we're 3 months of vacancy. Roughly, it was like 90 or 100 days of vacancy. And what did I tell you on the phone?
On the phone, you were like, man, don't do any repairs. Just sell it owner financed. That's exactly how I've sold some of my houses, and just wrap it to a new buyer. And that's exactly what I did.
And was this, I remember we talked about 2 deals on this phone call. Was this the house that was in Texas or the house that was in Tennessee?
It was in Tennessee. Yeah.
This is the Tennessee house. Okay, cool. And so from that phone call, if I'm not mistaken, I know that we had that phone call on Sunday because I remember I had just got back from church and I was on my walk. It was hot. And then I'm fairly confident that it was the next Wednesday in the afternoon after office hours, I received a text message from you saying, dude, I got it sold. So walk me through. There was 10 days of, I told y'all in the very beginning, the first like 2 minutes of this freaking thing, Gilbert took massive action in 10 days. Walk me through in painstaking detail what you did during those 10 days.
As soon as we got off the phone, I contacted, there's a company called Investor Boots, put signs and bandit signs. I ordered a bunch of bandit signs to be put around town.
Cool.
And
how much did that cost? How much did the bandit signs cost? And then how much did you have to pay Investor Boots to put them out?
Yeah, each sign was, I think, what, $140 or $130 or somewhere around there. Yeah.
How? That's the cheapest I've ever heard.
Yeah, $130. Yeah, that's what they charge. It was just a bandit sign,
Whoa.
For sale, owner finance available. Call Gilbert. I put it in the front of the property. I put some around town, and just nearest intersections, I guess, to the property. And then I would get leads coming in, and I'll just, point them towards the house, and they would have some walkthroughs. So
okay, cool. Let's talk about a couple of things here. Number one, how much did it cost for all of the signs? If you did multiple waves, then just sum it all up. How much did it cost for Investor Boots sum total?
I ordered 4 signs.
Oh, that's it?
4 signs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was it. Yeah.
Whoa.
That was it.
Okay.
4 signs. I did put marketing on Facebook. I didn't boost them or anything like that. Just normal postings.
Okay.
I did post on Craigslist as well.
Okay.
Craigslist surprisingly works really well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it works.
People sleep on Craigslist. They're like, oh, nobody's on that anymore. No, every one of your buyers is on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Even I didn't do it on this one, but I've done it before where I put them on OfferUp, and it works really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do anything in Spanish?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
So the beginning, it was just a white sign, just a normal Home Depot little white sign, English on top, Spanish on bottom, and here's my number. And
sweet.
That was it.
What did the sign say?
It just said for sale, owner finance available, and my number.
No beds, baths, no nothing.
Nothing. No.
For sale, owner finance available, your phone number.
I've disposed many deals like that. Yeah.
I love it.
Plain and simple, because then they'll ask you that, you get them on the phone, you try to find out what's important for them. I might have another property down the street, Keep it simple.
And then these are going to your cell phone and you're just on call, basically.
No, not my personal cell phone. I just had it to my Google Voice.
Okay. All right. Sweet.
Google Voice and yeah, exactly. CRM. Yep.
Good deal. All right. And so you were able to find your buyer. Do you happen to know, did your buyer come from Craigslist, Facebook, Bandit sign?
Bandit sign.
Bandits, the 4 bandit
Bandit sign.
signs, man.
Bandit
All
sign.
right,
Yeah.
cool.
His sister lived down the street, saw the sign, sent it to him.
Yes.
They're relocating from North Carolina down to that area.
And then what's your process look like when it comes to, do you qualify, then send them to the house? Do you send them to the house and then qualify?
For them, I did ask them, hey, well, you're not in the area, I want to make sure you can afford the payments, all that good stuff before we commit to anything. I do let them walk the property first, just to get an idea of like, okay, is this even something that, we can continue this conversation with? That's usually what I'll do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. How long did it take you from the time that you started the marketing to the time that your buyer reached out to you?
I started marketing right after our call. Bandit sign was put up on Monday morning. I had them reach out, I want to say on Wednesday.
So 2 days later.
2 days later.
And then it was roughly a 1-week close?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then how did you end up negotiating the deal? Because you didn't quite owner finance, right? It was a lease option.
Yeah, lease option. Yeah, correct.
Lease option. Cool. And what was your what was your option fee?
So my option fee was just the full down payment, the $32,000.
$32,000. And what is your cash flow?
Cash flow on it. So their payment is $1,800. That's at 8%, and my payment is around $1,500.
Sweet. So $300 per month.
Mm-hmm.
And is there equity between what you owe on the property and what they will owe you?
Yes. I have my loan at $211 and we sold for $262.
That's $51,000. And that $51,000, are they planning on getting conventional financing to balloon you out when they exercise their option, or are they going to do owner financing with you?
They'll be ballooning out. Yeah.
Sweet, dude. So you got $32,000 up front, $300 per month, and a balloon, you said, within 5 years?
Within 5 years, yeah.
For right now, it's $51,000, but I'm assuming that there's arbitrage between these two, and so hopefully it'll spread over time. But as of right now, it's $51,000, and it'll be bigger hopefully in 5 years.
Yeah. And if they renovate it and everything and get it the way it's supposed to, it is worth about like 310 or so, 320. So they'll be able to refinance successfully.
Beautiful. That's right. I should maybe highlight that. You said that the guy that you were renting it to was renting out individual rooms. So he was subleasing effectively. And they had trashed your house. Did you do anything at all, any work on the interior or exterior before putting up those bandit signs? Nothing. Cool. How much would you say, dollar amount, how much would you say would it take to get that in full ARV condition?
I'd probably say about like maybe like $25,000, $30,000 or so.
And they didn't have an issue with those repairs?
Not at all.
Cool. Dude, fantastic. Were they Spanish speaking or English speaking?
They were. Yeah.
They were Spanish speaking?
Spanish speaking, yeah. Yep.
All right, cool. I'm a little bit racist. I'll go on recorded record saying I'm a little bit racist. I'm allowed to say this, by the way, because I served my country and 99% of you didn't. I'm racist against the American people because white folks are like notorious, terrible spenders, ridden with debt, consumer mindset. They have no savings at all whatsoever. I'm here to tell you, Hispanics, Latinos, anybody who speaks Spanish, they are more fiscally responsible. I'm talking nationally, like racially, nationally, whatever you want to consider it. They are way more fiscally responsible than white people. They don't live above their means. They set aside money for savings. They believe so much in home ownership, and they consistently, my biggest down payments, my highest cash flows, and my fastest moving, most motivated, don't give me any of the crap. Just like, give me the brass tacks. Like, let's just move this thing along, right? And that's like right up my alley. I just want to cut the fluff. Cool.
Yeah.
So however you analyze this deal, whether you're looking at only cash now or cash now plus cash flow or cash now plus cash flow plus cash later, what would you say your net profit is on this deal?
Net profit. I think I was just looking at it based on equity. I don't think I had factored in, the cash flow wise, what that profit looks like. So
Do you have a number that you put in the CRM of what your net profit was?
I don't think so. Yeah,
How
I don't think so.
I would analyze this deal, and some people are going to argue with me on this, and I don't really care, but it's $300 per month. That's net cash flow, right? Because there is no
Right.
expenses on this. You're not having to pay for property management. You're not having to pay for expenses. It's no longer your house. There is no maintenance. There is no repairs. There is no capital expenditures. And
Right.
so the difference between the notes, the $1,800 and the $1,500 net, unless you have a servicing company, which that's like $35 to $50 per month. But if you just have one, then you're likely doing it yourself. So
Yeah.
300 times 12 equals 3,600. That's per year times 5 equals 18,000. And then if I remember correctly, not all $32,000 was profit because you had
Exactly.
to you had some expenses that needed to come
Yeah.
out. So how much of that $32,000 down payment was actual true net profit?
22,000.
22,000. So we have 18,000 plus 22,000 equals
Mhm.
40,000. And then you have $51,000 right now on the back end. And so we'll do plus $51,000 equals, this is a $91,000 deal. That's present day. The reason why I say that is because the arbitrage between these two notes, you have a note that you're already 4 or 5 years into the amortization schedule. And so you have an accelerated principal pay down, meaning you're going to pay down that amount owed faster than a brand new note at, what is the interest? You said 8%, right? Cool. So you have a brand new 30-year, it's a 30-year AM, right? 30-year amortization.
30 yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
At 8%, everybody knows the first, couple years is darn near
Interest.
all interest. Yeah. So
Yeah.
their principal pay down is not going to go down very much over the next 5 years, but your pay down will. And so right now it's $51,000, but after 1 year, that might be $60,000. And after 2
Right.
years, that might be 72,000. I don't actually know. I'm just making numbers, but the
Yeah.
point
Yeah.
is that that's going to spread. And so as of right now, this is a $91,000 deal conservatively.
Crazy. I didn't put it into perspective like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's so important to see. I love rentals, by the way. I'm the biggest fan of rentals. I don't care about what people say about toilets and tenants and trash and all of that sort of stuff. It's all taken care of by a property management company if you do it properly. And if you get a property under contract at the right price and at the right terms, which is the definition of buying right, then there is more than enough money set aside. 10% for vacancy, 10% for property management, 10% for maintenance, 5% for capital expenditures. That's 35%. Then you have your debt service, which is your principal, interest, taxes, insurance, HOA, condo association dues, CDD, whatever you have there. And then you get down to the net profit. And you should still have a couple $100 per month, $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 per month of net
Yeah.
profit. And so I love rentals. However, in this case, holding this rental wasn't serving you, and doing a creative finance exit, wrapping this note through, I guess it's not the true definition of a wrap note, but having a lease option, it's paying for itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're making that underlying payment to your private money lender through the lease that you have with this one. And then the option agreements, how you got the $32,000 down payment and the $51,000 of equity spread on the back end. So I'm such a big fan of creative finance. And these are the things that change people's lives,
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just do this again. Let's do this every month. I want to get into your newer deals. But before I do, I always like to ask this one question. What do you think was your biggest learning lesson? If you had to just choose one takeaway from this deal, what would it be?
I think this situation was a little different because, full transparency, I was getting behind on those payments. This property was about to get foreclosed. So closed and sold on Thursday. The following Tuesday was going to get foreclosed with the bank. So I was behind on that. So I think the biggest learning lesson was, I've helped so many sellers myself get out of these situations in these foreclosures and everything. But in my case, I didn't view myself as a seller. And I'm like, dude, I do this for people all the time.
Yeah.
So I, remove myself from the situation and just a bird's eye view of how can we get this done? And I think speaking with you, you brought that into perspective. You're like, dude, you do this all the time for other people. Why?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest takeaway for me, that it can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yes. Dude, everybody goes through hard seasons in life. And when you're in that season, I mean, I can speak from experience. I nearly tanked my company 2 years ago. And when you're in that season, when you're in the thick of it, you don't freaking think straight, Like you're not really creative. You're in panic mode. You're trying to just not drown. You're treading water, just trying to suck some air in before you go back down. And that doesn't really lend to a good creative atmosphere. And so sometimes it just takes a fresh perspective from somebody else in the industry, a peer, to say, hey, there's this other thing that you've done before.
Right.
That you could do again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So a lot has happened since that first deal. And I really think that like the hockey puck has levitated. Things have gone up and to the right since then. If I'm not mistaken, you've reinvested a portion of this option fee down payment profit back into marketing. What has happened since then?
Since then, I picked up some PPL from Property Leads.
Yep.
We just had Zoom with him not too long ago.
Yeah. James Harquist.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine.
Property Leads. I bought 14 leads.
Okay.
Between Texas, Tennessee, and Georgia. Of
Great
those 14,
states.
Yeah, favorites for sure. Of those, I got 4 deals under contract.
Sweet.
3 of them have closed.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, that's more than I thought.
Yeah. 3 of them have closed. I'm still.
Hold on. So, do you know the date? So today that we're recording this is July 14th, 2026. Do you know the date that you started, or like roundabout, like the week that you started with these PPL leads?
I want to say I'm a month, maybe a month and a half in.
Okay.
Something
6
like
weeks
that.
in.
Maybe a shorter time frame.
Maybe 5 weeks in. I think.
I want to say
check
maybe
your CRM, but I want to say 5 weeks.
I want to say it's 4 weeks. Yeah.
4 properties under contract within 14 leads, correct? How much did those leads cost on average? PPL is a little bit more expensive.
They're $75.
Oh, snap. That's way less than what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, $75.
Sweet. Cost per lead, $75 each. So your marketing investment here is 14 times 75. That's $1,050. Call it $1,000. You're in $1,000. You got 4 properties under contract, and 3 of them have already closed. Is this closed on the acquisition or closed on the disposition?
On the disposition. Yeah.
Heck yeah, bro. Okay, let's talk really quickly about these ones. So were these all wholesales?
All wholesales. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. And you said Texas, Tennessee, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Do you already have existing buyers lists for these areas? God dang.
No.
Okay. All right. So I have a lot of questions. So let's go. Whichever deal was chronologically first. What state was it in? What city and state?
Texas.
Do you remember the city?
Texas. Yeah.
Where?
Lufkin, Texas.
Lufkin?
Lufkin. Yeah. It's.
I've never heard of this place.
What is it? Me neither. Oh.
This is a small area.
It's a small area. Yeah. It was. Man, I want to say it's like an outskirt of Houston or something like that.
Do you happen to know what the population is?
The people, I think 2,000, 3,000.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Let's see. Let's Google.
Yeah.
It really quick.
So Lufkin.
So Lufkin.
All right. Population is 34,000 for Lufkin,
34.
Texas.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. 34,000.
Texas. This is pretty
East
rural.
Texas. Okay.
All right. So how long did it take you from contract A with the seller, contract B with the buyer?
I found the buyer 2 days after I got into contract.
Okay. God dang.
Yeah.
And how long from contract with the buyer to close?
My contract with the seller was to close in 7 days, and we closed exactly on time.
So 5 days from the time that you contracted the buyer to when you closed with the buyer. So 7-day close. How much was that assignment fee?
That assignment fee was $2,500. Small fee.
Yeah, small one. Hey, but $2,500 pays the bills.
So 500 plus
Next
space.
property, especially when you get 3 properties under contract.
Yeah.
So you've already paid for your marketing at that point. Marketing is free. Anything over this is infinite return. Second property that you got under contract, what was the city and state?
Corsicana, Texas.
I've never heard of that either, and I've done a lot of deals in Texas.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Corscina.
No, bro. Like all right, this is even smaller. Oh, Navarro County. Okay, good area. Great area, actually. I'm surprised I haven't heard of this. So population 26,000, and do you know from contract with the seller to contract with the buyer, what was that time period?
It's about 3 weeks. Yeah.
3 weeks. And how long did it take you to close after you found the buyer?
Yeah, and in total it was 3 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, okay. So you found the buyer. Do you know how long it took you to find the buyer?
Found the buyer a few days. I want to say it was like 4 days after or 3 days after.
All right, so you're consistently. These are good deals, y'all. If you can find a buyer within a week, you're doing really good. Yeah. And Gilbert's finding
bandit sign right there,
dude. Hell yeah, especially in Texas. Bandit signs crush it in Texas.
Yeah.
All right, 4 days.
The first one was Facebook.
Okay, good. Paid like an ad or just a post?
Just marketplace, normal marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace. Sweet.
Yeah.
So the second one in Corsicana, what was the assignment fee?
$5,000.
Sweet. All right, we've doubled from the first one. And then third property that turned into a deal. What was the city and state for that one?
Third one is Somerville, Texas.
No, never heard of that place either. My goodness, 1,000 people, 1,000 to 1,500.
Yeah.
Depending on the specific demographic estimate. Okay. Wow, dude, that's like an impossibly small city. And and how long did it take you to find the buyer? Not to close on the deal, but to find the buyer.
That one, it did take about a month. Yeah.
Okay. And then how long to close?
It was about a week.
Okay, sweet. So 5 weeks total. And what was that assignment fee?
$2,500 as well.
Cool. So we've made a total of $10,000. This ROAS is fantastic, by the way. A total of $10,000 from a $1,000 ad spend. And that $1,000 ad spend was funded by your $22,000 net profit from the option fee of deal number 1. So this is catapulted from a $22,000 in the bank. So let's think about this as a bank statement. A lot of real estate investors don't think about it like this. They think about like the sexy numbers, right? The $91,000 of like, I got this awesome deal. And it's like, well, yeah, you did. I don't want to take away from that, but that's over the course of 5 years, right? And so like, what does the cash look like in the bank right now? Because that's guaranteed. That's rest assured that money is there. Future money is not promised because we're not promised tomorrow. So what I like to do is I like to think about a bank statement, you literally print out the bank statement and it shows you this is your beginning balance and this is your ending balance. So you had $22,000 in the bank, then you spent $1,000 on marketing. So now you're down $1,000, you're $21,000. But then you go from $21,000 to $31,000, all in the course of, let me ask you this. From the time that you and I talked 8 weeks ago to when you got that third deal, the check from your third deal, how many weeks ago was that?
2 weeks ago.
So 6 weeks in between when we had our conversation. 10 days later, you had sold that. You immediately put that money into PPL leads with James Harquist over at Property Leads. You got 14 leads turned into 4 contracts. One of those contracts, I'm assuming you pulled out, buyer got cold feet or
still working. No. It's
still, for real?
Yeah. It's still working. Yeah.
Yes, dude. What do you think?
I haven't had to cancel any of them. The only ones
that's amazing. Really good numbers.
I do have other deals that I've locked in, but the sellers have ghosted me, so I'd have to put memorandums and all that stuff.
Memos.
But I'm still working on that one. Yeah.
Do you have an anticipation of what your assignment fee is going to be?
No, not sure. I'm still in talks with the buyer. So
what's I hate to even ask this question, but what's the city of the fourth one?
Let me see. Give me 1 second.
All of this, while he's looking that up, y'all, one of the things that I also want to highlight here is that Gilbert doesn't live in Texas. He lives in California. And so one of the things that I want to just break everybody's brain with is a lot of folks, they have this self-limiting belief of, I cannot do this virtually. When in fact, in this day and age, with the technology that we have these days, it's made virtual investing easier than ever. And many times it doesn't make sense to invest in your backyard because you don't live in an area of opportunity. Instead, you can invest where it makes sense, where you're going to get a much higher return on your advertising, which is what ROAS stands for, AOAS, return on ad spend. That's ROAS. We want to get a 5x ROAS. That's pretty healthy. 6 is doing good. Gilbert's crushing it, putting $1,000 in and getting $10,000 out. That's already guaranteed just from the 3 deals that he's dispoed. And he has a 4th one yet to come. So maybe that's going to be a tiny one, $2,500. Maybe that's going to be 5. Shoot, maybe it's going to be 10, 15, 17. Who cares?
Good.
All right, what's the city?
Evans, Colorado.
Well, all right.
So with that one, that's when I started adding in some nationwide stuff. So I was mixing it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Evans, Colorado that's a mid-sized market. They're like $300,000-$400,000 there. When all these places in Texas, I'm assuming you're playing in the $200,000 range for ARV. Is that about right?
So the first one was ARV of $80,000.
Holy smokes! All right, this is what I lovingly call little league real estate, which a lot of people make fun of me because actually the majority of my deals are sub $100,000. But I am here to tell you, little league real estate is where it's at because everybody's like, oh, you can't make any money on these deals. And these are the deals that I'm cash flowing up to $900 per month net profit. Yeah. Why? Because I'm buying them for $40,000 or $50,000 or $60,000, then I'm renting them out for $1,500, $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 in as-is condition, and the delta between those 2 monthly cash flows, legitimately, it's $800 to $900 per month because it's little league real estate. So don't sleep on this, y'all. When you listen to this, little league real estate, in my opinion, is where it's at.
No, that first deal, I was speaking with Brian Hammond on it to partner.
Yeah.
So what we were going to do was close it cash and sell it on a wrap and then maybe sell the note later on. But I actually had a few owner finance buyers that were calling and saying, hey, can I put 10 grand, down, 15 grand to put down? Can I sell it based on that?
Yes.
But the timeline was too quick. So we were just like, you know what, maybe I'll just wholesale it. So,
and you said this was the first one?
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, well, when you're going under contract with your seller in 2 days and then you close 5 days after that, we're moving pretty quickly.
Yeah,
that is super, super fast.
Yeah.
All right. I am blown away with this, dude. This is really, really encouraging. Thank you very much for sharing these numbers and being very transparent with all of this.
Yeah.
You're on a good path. Dude, $32,000 net profit. Oh, minus your one for advertising. So $31,000 net in 6 weeks. That's really solid. I like that. That's $20,000 a month, right? That's you're projected at $250,000 a year. I don't think that most people listening to this would stick their nose up at $250,000 per year. That puts anybody in a really good position.
Right.
What is your next big goal in real estate?
Next big goal, I would like to scale to at least hitting 100,000 a month. Sorry.
Okay.
Bringing on lead manager, help out, start bringing on some people and start scaling.
Good.
REI Automated has everything in it. So I already have a lead manager on and he's already taking calls and everything. That's something I reinvested with as well.
Heck yeah. And, good.
Helping me with the follow-up and all that. And it's been really easy transition. So
fantastic, dude. I think that's important. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, hundreds, make the mistake of hiring too early. And what I mean by that is they really do need to hire somebody. So I'm not saying that the timing is wrong. They need help. And without it, they're just dropping balls. They're losing money. The opportunity cost is massive. But what I really mean by too early is they're hiring somebody without having a system to plug them into that's setting that virtual assistant or team member or employee up for success. Instead, they're throwing them into this chaos and expecting them, the employee, to build the business, build the systems, build the automations, build the follow-up, blah, 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 blah. That's not their job. They're not qualified. They have no idea. They have no idea what they're doing. So I'm so happy you're plugging them into the REI Automated, the entire system here, because they're set up for success.
Yeah.
For anybody who is on the fence about signing up for REI Automated, maybe they are where you were before, whether you want to define before as 6 weeks ago or 90 days ago, what would you say to that person?
I think kind of what I did with myself. So really have to look in the mirror and say, can I expect change and get better based on what I'm doing today? And that was a real heart to heart with myself that I had to say, no, what I'm doing right now is not going to project me to where I want to go. And for that was
deep. That was deep. I don't know if people, that is like a very introspective.
Yeah.
You have to be real with yourself for that. Yeah. I think people need to rewind and listen to that again. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just needed to. That was deep, and I caught it.
You're good. And just recognizing that sometimes, like, if you're trying to get to where you want to be, like, sometimes you have to get out of the way. Get out of the way. Admit we're like, okay, I need help here, or I need help doing this. Stop wearing all the hats.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do it better yourself, but your time can be allocated somewhere else.
That's right.
Yeah. So REI Automated definitely changed it for me. Yeah, man.
Thank you for saying that, bro.
Huge value. Yeah. Huge value.
Appreciate your kind words. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for sharing your journey. I think that stories like this are so important to share because it reminds people what is possible when, like you said, you signed up originally. It was for all the sexy whiz bang, high speed, low drag, software stuff, which is awesome. It's cool. I love it. I nerd out. Obviously, I built it. It's my baby. I'm really proud of it. However, you have to have the whole thing. You have to have the right education. You have to have the right system. You also have to have the right support, the right people in your corner. So when things get tough, you have somebody to turn to who has successfully navigated those waters and can help you navigate them as well. So I think Gilbert just lost internet connection. But when he sees this recording, congratulations on your success, brother. I love you so much. You're so deserving of this, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for you. And with that, y'all, that concludes this client highlight. Hope you're encouraged. If you have any questions about REI Automated, you can always go to our website, www.reiautomated.io. We have all of our plans, all of our pricing, all of our software and stuff like that. It's up on the website. You can also take a look at our YouTube channel. We do have a podcast. Follow me on Facebook, social media, blah, blah, blah. Hit the like, the comment. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Facebook. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.